me jump on here. I've got it pointed at my wall. Hey, it's Amanda with Love and Soap Studio. Thank you so much for joining me. If you're watching the replay, thanks for watching. I'm looking a little crazy today. My girls slept in today, so I took advantage of it. But they are off to visit their grandparents with Benjamin, so I thought I'd make some soap and do our live today. I am going to be making a pretty boring coffee soap, but it's one of my favorite soaps. I absolutely love this soap. It's a triple butter bar recipe, which I'll talk a little bit more in just a minute. And yeah, we're using coffee in it. So I'm gonna go ahead and turn the camera around and we're just gonna jump into it. So let me push the right buttons here. Let's see. Okay, give me just a second. Good morning, everyone. Hello. Sorry, you'll see my messy kitchen here. Let's see. All right. Let me move this over. Good morning. Hi, everyone. We're going to make a coffee soap this morning. And I want to explain a few things to you. Let me just move this camera thing over. So hopefully you can see everything. Hi, Kelly. How are you? Okay. Hi, good morning. Okay. It is, it's 10 o'clock where I live, and I am in Florida now. So that might be pretty early for some of y'all. Good morning. All right, so like I said, I'm making a pretty boring soap today. It's a coffee scrub soap. However, it's one of my favorite soaps. The recipe I'm using is from Love and Soap Studio's recipe ebook. And it's the triple butter bar. So it has 3 butters in it. It has cocoa butter, shea butter, and mango butter. And it's just one of my favorite soaps. I mean, butters really add like a lotion-like lather to the soap. So they just feel really good. And then as far as label appeal, I don't sell soap anymore, but back when I did, like, people loved seeing that there's butter in their soap. So it's just one of those soaps that sold really well for us. And it's one that I like myself. So I thought since I wanted to make more of it, I would do it during the live. So we're not going to do any, fancy design or anything today, just a nice, nourishing recipe with lots of butter in it. So let me grab my goggles and gloves. The essential oil blend that I'm using, and I'm using essential oils today, it smells amazing. It has folded orange essential oil. It has Ylang Ylang. It has a little bit of grapefruit, and then it has some patchouli. So it smells really good. Hi, Kelly. Oh yeah, I think I have that triple butter soap recipe in the goat milk soap book as well. Yes, but oh my gosh, it's one of my favorites. I love it. So the essential oil blend, it's kind of citrusy, but then it has that patchouli in it that gives it some depth. Patchouli also helps anchor those top note essential oils so that the soap still smells good even after some of the citrus has evaporated from it, okay? So it's really important when working with essential oils that you create a really balanced blend of top notes, middle notes, and base notes. And we actually just added a new resource at Love and Soap. It's a blending guide, and you can get it with our essential oil blend ebook. So I'll put the link for that. But we've had a lot of chatter in the group lately about essential oils and how do I get them to stick and all of that. And some people have posted things, like clay works because clay absorbs the essential oils and can kind of hold them in the soap. But what I've found is that if you just create a well-rounded blend, meaning you have top, middle, and base notes, you're going to more likely create something that sticks in your soap. Okay, so if you need help with that, I'll put the link to that ebook. And I think it actually goes on sale tomorrow, so I'll share it again tomorrow as well. Or actually what I might do is just go in and put it on sale today. That way you guys don't miss out if you want to get it today. All right, so we're working with coffee today. So let me explain what I've done with that. There's lots of different ways to work with coffee and soap. You know, if you ask a soap maker how to add coffee to your soap, they're going to tell you about 10 different ways. I mean, not quite 10, but basically. So here's what I like to do. I like to simply throw grounds in my lye solution, and then that way it like brews into your lye solution. You can also add coffee grounds to tray soap or to your oils before you add your lye solution. And you can also brew coffee and use it in your soap and not actually use the grounds. I wanted a scrubby soap, so I left the grounds in there. But if you don't want a scrubby soap or exfoliating soap, no big deal. You can just brew coffee and use that brewed coffee, just chill it down in the fridge and use that brewed coffee in place of your water in your recipe. So really easy to incorporate coffee. Customers love coffee soap. I mean, well, you just have people in this world that love coffee. And so if they see a soap with coffee in it, they're just going to love it even more. And then I thought, it's already a nice creamy recipe, but I thought I would add some buttermilk powder to it, just to make it even more so. And when I'm adding powders like buttermilk powder to my soap, I actually add it to my oils and then I stick blend it to get rid of any clumps. Yeah, but there's different ways that people add milk. Some people add like the powdered milk to tray soap. They'll pour out some tray soap, just a little bit in like a cup, add their milk powder, stick blend it, and that's called making a slurry. But I find the easiest thing to do is just add it to the oil. So let me grab a spoon. And this is just buttermilk powder from the store. You can use goat milk powder, or just regular milk powder. But I'm adding 1 tablespoon. Oh, and when it comes to how much coffee, it's just a matter of preference. I added a 1/2 tablespoon of grounds to my lye solution. But you can kind of do as much as you want. You can also take your coffee grounds and grind them like to a powder. That way it's less exfoliating. So coffee soap is just all about preference. Like how scrubby do you want it? You know, how much coffee do you want in it? So it just totally depends on what you're wanting. I don't mind that. I love having at least 1 bar of scrubby soap in my shower, so I don't mind it being really scrubby. So I left the grounds as they were, kind of big, so they'll be nice and exfoliating for me. All right, so let's talk about temperatures. Excuse me. Since we're not doing anything fancy with this soap, let's see what this is. Our lye solution is 105, and our oils, and you have to stir before you temp with the gun, is 105. So I like to be under 100, but I'm going to go ahead and go for it just because I don't want you guys to wait around. But yeah, when just doing a regular soap with no swirls or anything. So with swirls, you know, I like to be like 80 to 90 degrees Fahrenheit. But if I don't have swirls and I'm just pouring the soap, I like to be around 100 degrees. So that's just a preference. You know, the cooler your soap, the slower it moves. And so I never want my soap to get away from me. So I kind of do those cool temperatures. But I think we're good. We're like at 105. So I'm going to go ahead and mix this soap. And I'm going to type this recipe out for y'all as soon as I'm done. That way you have it. You'll see a little, oh, I forgot to stick blend my, after I just told you that's what you do. Totally forgot to stick blend my milk powder, but that's okay. I'll try and get my stick blender right over it so it mixes it in. So I'm still on the fence about this stick blender. I got it from Bed Bath & Beyond. It's cordless, obviously, which is what I wanted because I have a really tight space I work out with in my kitchen. And I didn't want that cord going around, but I've kind of found that it incorporates a lot of bubbles in the mix, which is not a good thing. So I just burped it. So yeah, I'm just trying to decide if I still like it or not, because you can kind of see all the bubbles that's going on. I mean, I don't sell, I make soap like once a week for these lives, so if I, you know, were selling, I'd probably get something better, but I don't know, I'm still kind of trying to decide. I know KitchenAid has a nice cordless one, so I could go to KitchenAid. And since we're not doing any like fancy swirls or anything, it's okay if I get this to like a trace. So right now we're like right at just emulsified and almost ready to trace. So if I were doing a swirl, this is where I would divide it out and color each different section a different color and then swirl. But since we're not doing anything fancy today, I'm just gonna keep going with it. Alright, so now we're just at like a really light trace. So I wanted to put some texture on top, and I can do that a couple different ways. I can go ahead and pour it and then walk away from it for a while and come back and then add some texture. Or I can try and get it to a really thick trace in my mixing bowl. So completely up to you what you want to do as far as that goes. I think I'm just going to go ahead and pour it and then come back to it, and I'll do a little video of adding texture. But since it's kind of a plain soap, I always like adding a little texture on top, so that it, you know, it still has a different look to it. All right, so yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and pour this, and then I can add some texture later on, and I'll do a video so you guys can see that. But basically that just means coming back with a spoon or a spatula and creating texture however you want. You can also use a fork, which is kind of my favorite way to do texture, but there's no right or wrong. So this is looking really good. If you're just joining me, thanks for watching. We're making a triple butter recipe. It's coconut oil, shea butter, mango butter, and then of course it has the standard coconut oil and olive oil in it. But I'm going to share the recipe with you guys as soon as we're done. And we're working with coffee today. I used whole grounds in my lye solution. Let's see, I did half a tablespoon. Just tossed it in my hot lye, and it just kind of brewed in there and made coffee. And then we also added some buttermilk powder. So I love milk powder in soap. It just kind of boosts the lather a bit and just really makes it nice and creamy. Just like regular like goat milk or anything. All right, so this is ready to pour in the mold. I'm using this tall and skinny soap mold from Nurture Soap. The recipe is 900 grams or about 2 pounds of oils. Okay, so it makes a little over 2 pounds of soap because you have the 2 pounds of oils plus your lye and your water. And we're just gonna pour it in there. So nothing fancy today, you guys, just a nice nourishing soap. That's what I really like to use in my shower. I love making the swirled soaps, but I always like grab one of these bars if I have, like if Benjamin doesn't beat me to grabbing the soap or anything. Although he likes these kind of bars too, so he'll usually grab something like this. And then I just give all the swirled soap to friends and family and neighbors and everything. Okay, so this is going to be, like I said, this is going to be exfoliating because I added those grounds whole. I didn't even like grind them down or anything, you know, to make them smaller. So Like I said, I like at least one exfoliating bar in the shower. That way I can use it, you know, on my arms and legs and stuff. Just when I feel like a good scratch in the shower, you know, sometimes you just feel like a good scratch in the shower. All right, that looks awesome. So I'm going to let it sit, and then I'm actually going to come back to it and add some texture, and I'll do a little video for you guys of that in case you're brand new to all this. I can show you how to add some easy texture to your soap. But that is basically it. I'll write the recipe out for you guys in the description as soon as I end the live, so you'll be able to see it. And that way, if you want to try out the recipe, you can. But that's it. I appreciate y'all watching. I know some of you are just joining, but you can watch the replay. It's kind of early. It's 10 o'clock where I am, and I'm on Eastern time, so it's even earlier for some of y'all. But anyways, I hope you have a really good day. It's Thursday. We're almost to the weekend. So I'll say have a good weekend as well. And I'll see you guys next week. Bye.